By definition, a prototype is something that you are going to give up after a while, especially after finding your proof of concept. So be ready to do this transition from a prototype to a more reliable product, and maybe by redeveloping a part of your product. So for some projects, that might require real prototype, more complex things like artificial intelligence or more complex process or workflow from one point A to a point B. And that can be complex to achieve it with a simple landing page. There are still cheap ways to create startup product by reusing existing solutions. And believe me, solutions exist for almost everything. And that's what brings me to the API concept. The application interface programming. Basically, that's a connector between information system, between softwares. As example, if you have a website where people can subscribe on, there is an API connection that will go through your email marketing tools. That's as simple as that. And there is API for everything. From the CRM management, from invoicing system, from image recognition, chatbot, but also artificial intelligence like machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, etc., etc. And you name it, the cloud providers like Google, AWS, IBM, or Microsoft will provide you hundreds of API for almost everything. So, real approach is not only required for real complex projects, it can also fit with more traditional projects like marketplace or online courses like this one. You know, there are tools like Teachable or Podia that can enable you to create great online courses platforms under your brand and with your colors, etc., etc. Basically, there are existing solutions that you are going to pay on monthly basis and that can provide you a better quality that you will ever be possible by developing your own application on the prototyping stage. And above all, these solutions are scalable. You just have to pay a recurring fee plus maybe an income fee percentage, and that's definitely the best way to get started to build your first version for your product. So if you can find a right solution for you, for your needs, that's definitely the way to go because it's going to be scalable and you will just have to pay some recurring fee and maybe a small percentage on your incomes. That's definitely the way to go. And now, if you want to build a more complex application, something that do not exist yet, there are some existing pre-built applications, some components that you can manage and that you can shape to create what you are expecting. On that point, we see new techniques appear almost every month. Small startups provide solutions to build apps. And Bubble is a well-known approach. And there are also websites like Zero Code that are specialized on selling courses to build apps like Airbnb or Tinder, etc., etc. I've seen a few startups playing with it, and that's a great technique to start, especially with small budget. It just requires a bit of time to learn how these techniques works and to create your application, usually a few weeks. Moving forward, there are also open source solutions. And in that case, you will need a developer maybe to create an e-commerce solutions or to create a specialized solutions for managing calendars or maybe to managing, a membership website, etc., etc. There are open source solutions for almost everything. The only things is that it required a bit of technical skills. Like WordPress, it's a bit more complex than using services where you just pay a monthly fee and that's it. So be aware that there are thousands of other solutions for any type of budget, from doing a bit of code scripting to push some automations, from doing dirty coding by just developing few things and connecting existing open source tools. We can do everything by many ways, and that's what makes things a bit more complex when it comes to choose the right way for you. So to conclude prototyping sections, here is my recommendation. Use existing paid solutions, by monthly fees. That will enable you to go fast to test your market and to have your product ready in few days. Like it's gonna take months or maybe weeks at least to develop a prototype with a more technical approach. And then when you will have a prototype that works, when you will have proof that your market exists and people are willing to pay for your service, it will be the time to develop your own versions, at least to reduce the costs of your existing prototype. And that's what we are going to talk about in the next section, the development phase, starting with product specifications.